All right.
Okay, cool.
All right, here we go. Welcome back to PoPolitickin.com, your home for self-help meets hip-hop. Right now, we're live on YouTube, but check me out on Apple, Amazon, and Audible. 1 2 1 2 on the place to be with Asha, MacLean. How you doing today?
Hey, I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I listen to your music. It's dope.
Thank you. Thank you.
I ain't know you. I had a feeling like, because at first I was listening, like I listened to the Leah song first,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was like, okay, it's cool. And then I listened to the other song, the serial fuck boy.
Yeah.
And I was like, how old is she? I was like, she was young. I saw everybody else in the video. So I was like, how old is she? And then I read the thing. I'm like, damn, she only 17. So I was like, all right. So it's like, yeah, that's like for your age, like it's I say you got a mature voice and you sound good already. Like you sound like you don't sound like like some people when they're young, they sound young. You don't sound young.
Thank you. Well, I sounded younger. I started recording like 2.5 years ago. So back then I definitely sounded young. So yeah, it took a while for my voice to mature like this, but I'm glad that it comes off that way because I've worked really hard to get out of that.
What's up? Now it's me. You're from New York.
Yep.
What city?
Manhattan. I'm like currently in the East Village.
Okay, that's what's up. So let us know your background, how you got involved with music.
Well, I've always kind of been interested in music. I've always loved music, just listening to it. I don't know. I was both involved in like music and dance, so I was kind of growing up with both. And when it comes to music, I kind of didn't get into it like or think that it could be a career until the beginning of high school, so freshman year, when it was like this random thing. I was just posting videos of me singing on Instagram, and I had this friend, and her dad was the CEO of like Atlantic Records at some point, and so he heard the video and he sent that to the producer Charles Ferrara, which is who now I work with. So that happened. Yeah, that happened in like 2019 or 2020. So that's kind of how that started. But I've always loved music. It's always been a part of my life.
Then what were some of the songs you were singing?
Mm. Well, the video that they listened to first was a Billie Eilish cover. It was a Billie Eilish song, but I didn't just sing that. I kind of was more into R&B and stuff like SZA and like Janae Aiko and yeah, yeah, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how would you describe yourself as an artist?
Well, right now I'm kind of just doing like pop R&B stuff, but I'm open to all genres. I listen to everything. So I would say that I'm definitely open to anything, but my voice does kind of suit R&B the most. Like that's just kind of what I fell into first.
And what made you want to redo the Aaliyah track?
Well, she's somebody that I was really inspired by, especially in middle school. I was on a dance team. I used to compete and do like hip hop and stuff with a team. So a lot of the songs we would do were like Missy Elliott and like Sierra and Aaliyah. So I kind of like grew up listening to her. So I just was kind of like, oh, my producer was like, hey, we should do a cover. Like maybe you want to do an Aaliyah song. I was like, yeah, yes, yeah. So it just ended up working perfectly, and yeah, it was fun.
So you were doing like the dance battles, like Marion and them.
Well, that was not my specialty, but yeah, it was basically like that. It was like a whole team of like just a bunch of like 13-year-old girls dancing to like Missy Elliott and Janet Jackson. That too. That was another big one. We did a lot of like women empowerment stuff.
I would say, I don't know if you keep track of it, but do you keep track of the verses? Is the Marion and Mario coming up?
I kind of do. Yeah, I want to get more like watch it more often, but no. I don't remember the last one I saw. I think the last one I saw was the like Brandy and Monica or something.
Uh-huh.
I don't
So who
remember.
who you got for Mario and Marion? Who would you pick?
I don't know. I don't know. Don't put me on the spot. I don't know. I don't know. That's it's hard for me to make decisions like that. Like I have too much respect for people.
That's what's up. And then what are your current projects? I see you working on the EP.
Yeah, I'm currently working on that. I have a bunch of songs just kind of like ready right now, already recorded, getting mixed and mastered and everything. So it's just all about timing, and I'm not sure exactly when I'm gonna release it, but I do plan on doing so soon.
Yeah, and then I saw the song what's the Serial F Boy about? If anybody don't know that, if they haven't listened to it yet, what's that song about?
Yeah, so that song, when I wrote that with Charles, so that was about like 2 years ago almost, or a year and a half ago, and I had this boyfriend who was just he just kind of like treated me like shit, like, you know, he was a fuckboy, I guess. And I don't know, it was kind of like a joke when we were writing it because it was a spontaneous thing, and like this whole situation had just kind of happened to me and we broke up and everything, but he couldn't stick to one person. I'll just say that, and it was just perfect. It was perfectly aligned moment to write the song.
Yeah, that's what I was saying too. I was like, so that means you was what you was like, what, how old were you when you wrote the song?
I was 15 turning 16.
I was saying you already dealing with guys like that already?
Yeah,
Like you already
yeah.
got to deal with that relationships already?
I know it's ridiculous, but you know, it is what it is. People are growing up so much faster now. It's kind of like I was almost surprised that I was dealing with that. I was like, "Are you serious?" Like, but you know, it's relatable. I think that most people that I've talked to about it, like even like you know older people, more adults, have been like, "Yeah, oh my God, I'm surprised that you know you went through that already." And I'm like,
And I was like, wow.
I know it's not great.
So what are some of your interests outside of music?
Well, dance is a big one. Um, Aside from that, I listen, I really only like music. Like that's really the only thing that I'm into. Like I don't know. I've just always only wanted to be around music. That's basically it. It's there's no story behind it.
Are you still in school or are you out of school?
Well, I just got out of school like a week ago from
Okay.
junior year, so I'm going into my senior year next year. But yeah, I just got out. Thank God.
So what do you see what do you see yourself with in music? Like what are your plans?
Well, I definitely want to try performing more. I haven't been able to do that since COVID and everything. I haven't been able to really do anything. So I want to put like enough music out to be able to go and like open up for people or just do like, you know, shows, like small shows. I just think that would be good for me to get used to performing again because I haven't done it since I was competing and dancing in middle school. So I need to get back into that.
Then who do you make your music for?
Like, who's my audience? Like, my target
Mm-hmm.
audience? I mean, it's anyone really. I've never really thought about, like, I don't have like a specific audience. I just kind of think that it's just for, it's really just for anyone that will listen. Like, I'm not, you know, I don't target for younger people. I don't target for older people because I just, you know, I do sound a little mature, and I think that I am a mature person for my age, but I'm still, you know, 17. So I just try to just put out my experiences, and whatever happens, happens.
And then who are some of your favorite artists?
Some of my favorite artists, definitely Kalani. Definitely people like Janet Jackson, Michael Jackson. Uh, yeah, I mean, literally, let me think. SZA again, Janae Aiko again. It's really just like that whole group of people, like Brent Fayez, Pharrell, like all those types of people.
Yeah, that's actually you naming people I like. 'Cause I like SZA. I like Brent Fayez too.
Hmm.
Yeah, I like them a lot. What you like about them?
Well, I personally, when I'm listening to music, I like to listen for like, I don't know, like I like unique sounds. I like, so with like, especially with like SZA and her like melodies and her like really like weird, she doesn't really have much structure in her music, which I like. I think that that's cool. Like I think that having like weird breaks and like weird little like sound effects and crazy up and down melodies, I don't know. I gravitate towards that kind of stuff. I like the creativity of it.
Mm. Then how would you describe your creative process when you're making music?
Um, Well, it depends. If I'm like at home and I'm just like, I just feel like I want to write something, I'll either have like a beat that Charles sent me or something to write on, or I'll just find some like instrumental thing on YouTube and I'll just like, usually I come up with melodies first and then the words will just come eventually. But I like to, my voice memos app on my phone is like filled with just random like ideas and everything. So it doesn't really, it just kind of comes when it comes. I just let it happen. But then in the studio, it's kind of more structured. It's like there's just a beat playing and you just repeat it over and over and over and over again, and you don't stop playing it until you have a song, basically.
And then how do they treat you at school, knowing
That's,
you're a recording artist?
I mean, it depends. Some people, I mean, I don't really talk to people at school. I'm not a huge like social person when it comes to, I don't know, just people at school are just weird. But I have a lot of my teachers support me. A lot of them have somehow found my music videos or something, and I always get little like emails from them. Or, I mean, some people in my grade, especially, will be like, they'll be joking, but they'll like be playing the song in the hallway as I'm coming out of class or something, and they'll be like singing your cereal, fuck boy. I'm like, oh my god, can I get a break? Like, God, yeah. But it's all love. They're not, nobody bullies me, at least. That's nice. I appreciate that.
Um, then what advice would you give to a new artist?
Um, what advice would I give to new artists? I would just say not to overthink. And I also think that it's good not to make music specifically for a target. I think that it's good for like, I think it's good to just kind of let your ideas just kind of come out, and because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes that's just the best product. Like you wouldn't have ever expected to come up with something if it was like some random shit. Like maybe you think it's like really weird, but you just keep it, and then a few weeks later you go back and you're like, oh, that was actually really cool, and then you release it and then boom, everyone likes it. So I think that that's probably the best thing to do. I don't want to be cliche and be like, be yourself, don't listen to other people, but like, yeah, don't listen to other people.
Then are you going to like the studio to record, or you got like a setup in your house?
No, yeah, I go into a studio around like Wall Street, downtown area. I go in. I don't have anything set up yet, but I probably should do that. It's a good idea.
So, all right. And then what would you like to say to your? Say. So, who would you describe as your hero?
Who would I describe as my hero? Huh. Like musically or just in general?
Just in general.
I would say I would say my dad, because especially recently he's been helping me get through a lot of just a lot of things and a lot of processes that I wouldn't be able to do by myself, especially because I'm turning 18 in like 6 or 7 months. So I'm getting to a point where I kind of need to be more independent, but he's not like forcing me to be like just by myself and be out alone. So yeah, I would say my dad, because he's really rescued me this past couple of months.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna say what is some of the best advice you ever received so far?
Um, the best advice. Well, I sometimes have some like trouble talking to people. Like it's not that I don't want to talk to people, it's just like sometimes I will overthink what I'm like, what's right to say and what's wrong to say, or like I take too long to respond to somebody or something. And I just remember Charles telling me, like, you just need to, like, don't think about that. Like, just answer the questions, just talk to the person, and like, kind of, especially when you're performing too, because it's like you have to interact with the crowd and everything. So it's like you're kind of putting on a persona, but it's just, I don't know, that's just helped me. Just like pretending like if I have a conversation with somebody that I don't know, I just pretend like we've been friends for 5 years, and then I can just, it's not as anxious for me. I get very anxious. Like social anxiety for me is pretty crazy. So yeah.
And then what would you want to say to your fans and supporters?
To my supporters, well, I know most of my supporters personally, so I want to thank all of them for just being so cool about it, and for always, like spreading around when I release something, and just, I don't know, like everyone's just been really cool, really good energy with me, and I really appreciate that there hasn't been anyone trying to tear me down, I guess, like in my circle at least.
All right, I want to say thank you for coming through politicking with me.
Thank you.
You got any shout outs or social media, anything?
Yeah, my Instagram and TikTok and Twitter are all Asha MCLN music. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have right now.
What's your favorite social media site you like?
My favorite social media site. I mean, I guess I'm gonna say TikTok, because I feel like it's just the easiest to use. You just scroll, right? I don't know. Everything else is kind of confusing to me now. I I don't understand Instagram anymore, and I never understood how to use Twitter. So I'm a
All
simple
right.
girl.